Hello and welcome to Let Supreme Ghost T2X, Shadows of the Necro Age. I guess this one is called Shadows of the Metal Age. Of course, is the official name. That's right. We're starting yet another massive campaign right after having started Thief 2. And you might ask why. And the answer is pretty simple. When I decided to start this YouTube channel, I had a few major fan mission campaigns in mind. The Calendra series, the Black Frog, Roxburgh missions, and then a few other fan missions popped up along the way. But this one was always on my list. It's one of the crowning achievements of the fan mission community, I would say. It's released back in 2005, I think. Maybe late 2004, I think 2005, by a whole slew of different authors that I'm not going to list right now. I don't have them written down, so I would be bound to forget somebody. But many authors were involved. It's a 13-mission campaign that is very, very well done. Completely rebuilt from ground up. Does not feature Garrett. Features a female protagonist. And has a story that's completely unrelated to the regular Thief canon. So we're going to play this now, and I wanted to start this now because if I waited until I was done with Thief 2, I probably wouldn't start it at all, because Thief 2 is going to take me a few years to get through, just with the frequency of my uploads. It's not conducive for more than a mission every other month or so. So we're going to start this today, and we're probably going to alternate between Thief 2 and this, as much as I can at least. And I have decided that I'm not going to interrupt Thief 2 and this with any other fan missions. I might play a few other fan missions, but I'm not going to record any other missions in between. I've just decided on that as a principle. Not even if I come across a very good one, I'm going to wait and take any other fan missions after these two campaigns. So this will be prioritized right now. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game on Expert, and we'll watch the introductory briefing here.
Finally! This day has finally arrived, and I'll get to set sail on my own, with my own ship! I've fought for this opportunity for so long, and now I can barely believe this day is here. I feel like a little child, filled with uncontrollable excitement. It'll be a long journey, and I'll miss my family, I know. But I've got to do this. I have to prove my worth, not just to my family, but to myself. I'll be shipping some goods to a large city for trade. I've never been there before, but it's rumored to be full of opportunity and wealth. At least I won't have to be there alone. My cousin, Kedar, has been trading in the city for a while, and I have some cargo for him. We used to play together when we were kids. I haven't seen him in so long, but he wants me to visit his new shop. I've missed Kedar. I look forward to this challenge, and I know that whatever may lay ahead, Linjala will watch over me, and I'll enjoy every minute of my adventure, even with the dangerous waters and approaching storms.
So, Unexpected Shelter is the first mission. And there's only one objective for now: search the dock area for your cousin Kedar. Now, as you realized when I started, I'm playing this with the Necro Age mod. And that's not just the mod that has been put on top of this fan mission. The author of the Necro Age have actually remade or restructured the files inside the fan mission and re-upload the fan mission with all the Necro Age textures incorporated. So they've been customized for this fan mission. That's why I wanted to use it. I don't like to use mods on fan missions unless they use a lot of the stock textures, because you can get a mix and match of old and new textures, and that just doesn't look good. But in this fan mission campaign now, it looks great. And I'm also playing it on New Dark 1.27, and I'm anticipating that there will be some changes from the original reports that I made a good 10-15 years ago. And this mission can now actually be ghosted. I was not able to ghost this in Old Dark, but now because of New Mantle, it's possible to ghost. There's no loot, so there's no Perfect Thief or Perfect Supreme to talk about. We can't Supreme Ghost it, we have to trigger a few traps. But the fact that we can ghost it is great. So I will show you that, and I'm happy to do so. So let's go ahead and start.
Don't you worry about a thing, little missy. I'll take care of your cargo until you get back.
Alright, so here we are at the dock. They'll take care of our cargo. Well, maybe not, though. It didn't sound too friendly. Alright. So we are carrying our compass and our captain's log and 2 healing oils. So there's, I think all of the items are new. Weapons are, well, we don't have any weapons here now, but weapons have been added to. There is no map right now, but we will get a couple as we go along. Okay, so we will go ahead and read the captain's log to begin with. Manifest, 2 crates banja fruit, 45 pounds matchkin extract powdered, Yawara dragon statue, Kedar, 12 boxes assorted gems, stones, 23 pounds Grasker gourds, 1 crate Linjala figurines, 1 crate Book of Deeds. Captain's log, day 5. It seems a bit dramatic to keep a captain's log on such a small ship, an uneventful journey, but Papa insisted. I'm excited about seeing Kedar again, and I hope the city is all he has promised. There were some rough winds late this afternoon from the northeast, as I anticipated, but the ship was fine. The crate containing the Yawara dragon was shaken from its place in the hold, and the head was broken from the statue. Kedar really needed this piece, and I hate to deliver it to him in 2 pieces. I'm sure there are gifted artisans in the city who can repair it at a reasonable price. I won't mention it to Kedar until I've had a chance to get it repaired myself. We'll be so excited to see one another, I doubt it comes up for a few days. Captain's log, day 7. The sea is calm today. It's so peaceful here. I expect to reach the city tomorrow. I've brought a small collection of Linjala statues and texts in hopes there will be some way of distributing them in the city. I'm unfamiliar with their religions and customs, but if nothing else, people may be attracted to them because of their foreign origins. I would never seek to profit from Linjala, the goddess forbids it, but I'm sure she will be pleased that I have remembered her on this trip. Right. So here we are. So we're in some kind of a dock district. Now I will point out all the items. I will not pick them up because you're not supposed to, for Supreme, pick up anything you don't need. I will prioritize that mode. So in this chest you can find a healing oil. Those work just like healing potions. There's nothing else to pick up in this area. We're going to meet Kedar right away here. El Fingi, Dayport Warehouse Manager.
Kedar! There you are!
Hey, I was just on my way down to the docks. You're early.
I've missed you. It just isn't the same at home.
I've missed you too, Sayer.
I just go by Zaya now. I'm not a kid anymore.
Come on, I'll take you back to my shop. I think you're really gonna like the city, Zaya. It's full of promise. You'll see.
I can't wait to see.
So now we checked off that objective and follow Kedar back to his shop. Since it's raining, make sure you stay close to him. Can't get in there. Here's a map. take that. We can't drop it back, but I'll take it just because it makes sense to have a map. This mission can't be Supreme Ghosted. I probably would not have picked it up if I could have Supreme Ghosted it. But we are now here in the docks office, and we are on our way north. There's a commercial district, and there's an old quarter in the far northwest. And then there's also another exit north halfway through. Daygate access for after-hours shipment. Okay. We don't have to close this door because he opened it. Pier 13. I love the music here. Let's just stroll along with him, shall we? Read some of the
Stay
sign.
close to me. It's pouring out here.
Spectator's Pub.
It may be pouring out here, but the city doesn't look as dangerous as I've heard. These streets are deserted.
Well, I guess most of the city's not too bad, except for the poor section over to the west. There are some places there not even the city watch will go. Still, I wouldn't go out by yourself. The city's no place for a stranger, especially at a time like this.
So that area over here is the commercial district. There's a gate there, so we can't go up that area. A gate that's locked. So these gates opening and closing are scripted events. Over here is a healing fruit. Those are not new, so not all the items are new, but there are quite a few healing fruits in this mission.
You're gonna have to tell me all about your trip when we get back, Zaya. It's been so long since I've seen anyone from the family.
Strong in the arm and son's armor.
I sure hope this weather lets up soon. Don't worry, the shop's not too far from here. I can't remember the last time a morning looked this dark. You know, just a couple streets over to the west of where we are right now, I had a friend tell me he saw a ghost. Really? Would you believe it? Some of the old buildings over there are supposed to be haunted.
Wedderberg and Machinists. We're going to save it here. We're going to see what actually usually happens.
Hey, why are the day gates closed? What's going on here?
Intruder! Found ya. Oh, I'm fine here. Now. Be so. Take that.
Okay.
You better hope I don't. Well, here's an arrow for you.
So that's what's supposed to happen. And we're supposed to get ambushed here.
Hey, why are the day gates closed? What's going on here?
Tarval and Weaponsmith. So there are 3 smugglers, and you might have noticed that the one coming out of that door here is the same one that's supposed to watch your stuff. This is a Dactori armorer. So in Oldark, the only thing you could do after he was killed was to run through this gate and continue running up to the old quarter, and then we're going to eventually end up in the house. That is the unexpected shelter then. In New Dark, we can actually do something here that will make us able to ghost this part. And I will reload it real quick. And make a real save here. And I will show you how this is to be done.
Hey, why are the day gates closed?
Not like that, but that's how you're supposed to do it. It's the only way you can do it. You could never mantle
Hey,
out here, though.
why are the day gates closed? What's going on here?
Alright, that's over here somewhere. You picked the... Come out, you tatting coward. Come out, wherever you are.
Ooh, you're gonna get it.
I'm gonna find you.
So we gotta wait for them to settle down here.
Don't get too comfortable. I'll find you in a minute.
And we have to, of course, head west from here. So we need all the smugglers to be facing west. Or be around a corner.
Nobody escapes from the free traders.
Now, I'm not sure where that archer went. The archer that's on the west side. If he doesn't move and just keeps being stationed where he is, that's not good. Let's save it there and we can see what's going on. Might have to redo this a few times. So that's good. He's facing away from us. And there doesn't seem to be anybody here. I don't know what way they're facing, but we have to drop down here. And the only way to do that, because we will take damage once we drop, is to place the 2 healing oils.
Next time I go out, I'm going to do the job alone. I tell you that right now. I can't take this crap anymore. I can't take this junk.
Do that, and you can drop
Trash.
down onto those without taking
I can't
damage.
take this mumbo jumbo bull crap.
And I'll find you.
I know there's someone.
Okay, so that's good. If I hadn't made noise there, I would have been able to do this.
Do 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 do. Dum do 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 do. I hate this stuff. Sitting around here. There's someone out there.
We just got to make sure that we drop the potions right where we will land.
Stay put.
Because if we land right on the edge of them, then we will bounce off. So if we hit the edge of a
I know you're.
staircase or something.
Next time I go out, I'm going to do the job alone. I tell you that right now. I can't take this crap anymore. I can't take this junk. Trust me.
That doesn't work. I mean, I don't even know if those guys are placed conveniently.
There's someone out.
My light gem doesn't work. I didn't say that, but there is no light gem because we're not a thief yet. We are going to get trained after this mission here. So that's why they can't even get a whiff of me.
Hey, where'd that come from?
Messing around with people for too long. I would have started.
And I took a maiden down to the sea.
And I was a pirate once.
I don't know. Was that an alert? Where'd that come from? But at least we got it
Caught in
there.
my throat.
It just seemed too
Something's caught in
coincidental.
my throat.
So that they didn't hear. So then we definitely can do this. We can do this. We just got to be a little bit lucky with the placement.
I know you.
That they heard for sure. I think we can sneak away. The archer is facing north, but I think we can do that actually.
Something caught in my throat.
That's not good enough. Okay, I didn't take that many tries to get it in my practice run. I haven't done it more than I think twice before. That is good.
Where'd that come from?
Messing around with people for too long. I would have started.
Oh, there it is. So then where did that come from was not an alert.
Can't feel my own toes anymore.
I'm not going to save it yet. Because we're not out of the woods yet. There. Definitely out of the woods here. We didn't take any damage, did we? I'm gonna go back to that save and take a look. I don't think I... No, we didn't. Great. Then we got that. Here we go. Here is a building, a mansion. Abandoned, it looks like. And here's a readable papyrus. Cripes! I can't stay here no more. Those cries and sounds from that old mansion, I can't even close my eyes. I'm scared. I think I saw something in the right tower. Some lights in the shadow. I'm leaving tomorrow. Damn this region. I'd rather be living under the bridge than near such a horrible place. We go. So, flee the thugs and escape with your life. Find a safe place to hide until you can figure out what's going on. Go in here, the doors are gonna close.
Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Come on, men, she's cornered.
I'm not going in there. Are you crazy? That place is haunted.
Yeah, I've heard some stories. It's not haunted.
Then you go in there alone.
I need people with me to search for her.
Well, I'm not going in there, and anyone who does is crazy.
Fine. Maybe you're right. The zombies can have her then. We'll just hang outside here to make sure she doesn't come back.
I'll make certain she doesn't leave from the windows.
Okay. So, if you come outside again, I don't think we can leave again, actually. But if we do, then they will attack us, but they will not alert to us unless we're outside. And kind of weird how they followed us here when they didn't even know where we were. Anyway, let's make a real save there, and we are now in the mansion where we're going to spend the rest of the mission. There's a map here too that I'm going to pick up, and that shows the layout. So this is the first room, or the first floor rather. This is the hallway that we're in right now. We came in through the front entrance here, and these are the stairs up to the second floor. There's a ballroom, and there's a couple of rooms here on this end that we can get to. And then on the second floor, there's a couple of bedrooms and up in the top right areas. There's a dining room, a library, and a study. And then there are a few towers, watchtowers here in the front. That's it. Let's see here. Let's see, here's a room. I think this room is empty, actually. Here.
The knowledge depository will help you open this door. Search well.
Strange. The knowledge depository will tell you how to open this door. Okay. Let's go to this bedroom first then. Up here there's a cheese and there's a loaf of bread. Nothing else up here. Okay, this is the kitchen. Right here. Here there is another healing oil. Nothing up here. Then up top here, there's a book. Now all books and readables that are found in books will open up like this, and then you can read them, but you can't close it again. So I find that a little bit frustrating because for Supreme you're supposed to put everything back the way you found it. So I'm probably just going to end up reloading so that I don't open the book, because we don't need to read these things, except maybe for books that have vital information. Recipe book. Recipe 9. Chocolate droplet pumpkin bread. For myself, this is a good recipe during all harvest week. The chocolate will be difficult to find and may be expensive, but it's worth it, since it adds an excellent taste. It will make 3 loaf pans so that you can have 36 servings. Ingredients: 3 cups white sugar, 1 cup vegetable oil, 1 15-ounce container of pumpkin puree, 2/3 of a cup of water, clean water, not water from a sty, 4 eggs, chicken eggs, not any other kind of eggs, 3.5 cups ground wheat flour, 1 tablespoon ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon ground nutmeg, 2 tablespoons rising powder, 1.5 teaspoons salt, 3/4 cup, and 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons little semi-sweet chocolate droplets. I assume that's chocolate chips. 1 pinch special gray witching powder to help loaves rise. Okay, so yeast. 1/2 cup chopped walnuts, optional, I do not like nuts. Directions: 1. In a large bowl, combine sugar, pumpkin oil, water, and eggs. Beat until smooth. Blend in flour, spices, soda, and salt. Fold in chocolate droplets and nuts. Grease 3 9x5-inch loaf pans. Fill the pans half to 3/4 full. Sprinkle special gray witching powder on loaves or nearby. So witching powder then, maybe that's like poppy seeds? 175 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, or until an inserted dagger comes out clean. Cool on wire racks before removing from pans. Wrap once completely cooled. Recipe 17, cheese scones. These are a favorite of Lord and Lady Bumbleson. There is cheese inside and out, which accounts for the tasty, sharp flavor. Ingredients: 1 3/4 cup unbleached flour, 1/4 cup whole wheat flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon dry mustard, 1/4 teaspoon salt, a dash of cayenne pepper, 3 tablespoons cold unsalted butter, 1 cup grated extra sharp cheddar cheese, 1 large egg beaten, chicken egg, not frog egg, half a cup of milk, cow milk preferably, plus extra for brushing. Directions: 1. Preheat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Lightly butter a baking sheet. 2. In a large bowl, thoroughly combine the flours, baking powder, mustard, salt, and cayenne. Cut the butter into bits and rub it into the mixture until it resembles coarse crumbs. 3. Stir in all but 2 tablespoons of the grated cheese. Mix the egg with the milk and stir it until just evenly moistened. 4. Turn the dough into a lightly floured surface and knead for a few times, or just until pliable. Pat into a 1/2 inch thick circle and cut the circle into 8 triangles. Place the scones on the baking sheet. Brush the tops lightly with some milk, then sprinkle on the reserved cheese. 5. Bake 17 minutes or until golden brown. Serve warm, not hot. As always, make certain to walk around the circle 3 times clockwise before serving. Recipe 24, Catherine's Wonderful Apple Crisp. This recipe was given to me by Catherine, who's a serving maid at Lord Granford's manor. She says the cook gave it to her, but I think she stole it. Nevertheless, it's good to eat, so I've heard. Ingredients: 4 or 5 cups sliced apple, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon flour. Topping: 3/4 cup brown sugar, 1/3 cup of butter, 1/2 cup oatmeal, 3/4 cup flour, 1/4 teaspoon soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon cinnamon. Directions: mix apples, flour, and sugar together. Place in an 8x8-inch baking dish. Mix together brown sugar, butter, flour, oatmeal, soda, salt, and cinnamon, and sprinkle over the apple mixture. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. I'm tempted to try some of those now. Okay, so we are going to then, there was no door here, head out into the yard. Around here, first there are 3 fruits in this area. And then over here, pretty obvious. This could have been a little more hidden maybe, but it's a key that we need, so maybe they want to make it easy on the first mission. So basement key. Head back inside here. So, several times in this campaign, when you enter rooms, lights turn on. That is not a Busta Supreme. It's only removing light sources, but not removing those that you have triggered. That is okay, because when you leave, they go out. So you're not supposed to remove any light sources that is there when you start the mission. Okay, in here there's a secret. There's only one secret in this mission. Oh. If you stand on this pedestal, lower it, and then go over here and lower this. So they don't have to be lowered at the same time. I think maybe that was the purpose. Put a bag on one of them. And then in here you can find another healing oil. So I'm going to reload because you can't close that door, so I don't want to take it, and I don't need the healing oil either. Now we're done downstairs. There's just one more room, I think, over here. There's nothing in there. Oh no, that's upstairs. I was waiting for something to happen there, but no. Let's head upstairs then. Here we can actually go on here, follow this ledge around. If you do that, you can find another healing fruit here. And then there is diary. That's difficult to get to under the bed. 2nd to 3rd month. Dear diary, nothing exciting happened today. I had my lessons from Nanny, which left me longing for more interesting education. I learned a little bit more about the history of the city. It's quite old, and the city upon a city upon a city, no less, and its inhabitants. Still, I would trade this pampered, humdrum life for even one adventure. 5th to 3rd month. Dear diary, today I learned some of the fundamentals of diplomacy. Boring. I just can't sit still while Nanny talks and talks about these things. Today I noticed that her left eyebrow twitches when she reaches a certain point of excitement while explaining. Also, I do not think the maid likes me much. Twice have I caught her trying to put my diary in the library. This time I shall hide it well under my bed. 12th to 3rd month. Dear diary, a wonderful thing happened to me today. While wandering around the market square, I met the most delightful man. He seemed to skulk here and there, which alarmed me at first, but then I followed him a ways, curious. He caught sight of me, though I think it was because of my yellow dress, and approached me. His name is Thomas, and he is so secretive. Is this the adventure I've been waiting for? He said he will bring me flowers soon. 14th to 3rd month. Dear diary, just as he promised, Thomas appeared today on my balcony. I have no idea how I got up there, but he came into my room and presented me with the most wonderful bouquet of wildflowers. We talked for such a long time, and he revealed to me that he is actually part of a secret organization. Yes, it's true. He said that he can't tell anyone but me about it because it's so secret and powerful, and he can't even tell me their name. I feel very good that he trusted me with that much of his secret, however. 17th to 3rd month. Thomas visited again today. He is so charming and handsome. He didn't bring me flowers today, but that's okay. He kissed me on the cheek when we parted ways. He is so romantic. I think I shall fall away. I have been clothed in my most beautiful dresses since I met him, but today he caught me in my underdress. I was embarrassed, but perhaps this is what prompted him to give me that kiss. I think that I shall wear my underdress all the time. 20th to 3rd month. I am worried. Thomas said that he would meet me yesterday, but he did not show. Perhaps he's caught up with some terrifying adventure of his secret organization. I hope he's all right. Tomorrow I shall look for him, even in the most dark corner of the city, if he has not appeared by tonight. 21st to 3rd month. I can't believe it. Most vile love. Most treacherous liar. Thomas isn't part of a secret sect. He is a stable boy. A stable boy. I was looking for him, worried and wringing my hands, when I happened to pass by Lord Gerd's stables. Who did I happen to see but Thomas, grime on his face, shovel in hand, cleaning the stable. I stomped up to him and gave him a piece of my mind for lying to me. He looked embarrassed, but I bet he didn't feel a whit of remorse. Horrible cad. I hope he stinks like that forever. 28th to 3rd month. Dear diary, today I have met a wonderful man. I can forever forget about Thomas now that I have met Tamlin. He looks a bit like Thomas, but with a mustache and a little taller. He says that he is a prince, and though he doesn't wear any gold or silver, I think he could be telling the truth. Let's see here. In here. There is another healing oil behind this broken chest. And then there is a readable. Damn, I can't get out of this place. I can't understand how this door can be closed so fast by the wind while I barely opened it in half an hour. And those horrible sounds and steps. They are getting closer every minute. Who or what can live in such a place? Tinker used to warn me about something strange here. I should have listened to him. Oh, my candle is almost burned out. Soon I'll face the darkness. Whatever it is coming, I'll be not an easy opponent. Let's see. Well, that is weird. Stairs going back down. Empty room. Okay, so that's probably the vision that the person from that window saw through this hole. Stairs down. And this is a library. Okay. Now here are quite a few books to read in here. Let's see. One. Fairy lyrics from the notes of unknown adventure. She that pinches country wenches, if they rub not clean their benches, and with sharper nails remembers, when they rake not up their embers. Okay. But wist I of a woman bold, who thrice my brows durst sign, I might regain my mortal mould, as fair a form as thine. At morning and at evening both, you merry were and glad, so little care of sleep and sloth these pretty ladies had. When Tum came home from labour, or sis to milking rose, then merrily, merrily went their tabor, and nimbly went their toes. His belt was made of myrtle leaves, plated in small curious thieves, beset with amber cowslip studs, and fringed about with daisy buds. The trickster came and went, did he, and all the folks did quickly flee. Where once their house of dancing was, now stood a tree and bees abuzz. Notes or Adventure by Anonymous, Book 1. An excellent way to get a fairy to be bound with you, but for myself I have another way. Jet of the woods, 2 things. A cup of dew and a branch of oak with leaves that are green. Bring these to a wood in moonlight, but it should have only half a moon to it. Next, find a circle of toadstool. And after the great fire, which purified the land, there arose a people who were of a place not of anything we know. Their hair did billow out like great sails, and their skin shone with a high glimmer. Their eyes were pale and sad, for they had fled their own land which was dying. They did practice magics which were new to this place, magics which brought up new trees and carved out the mountains and hills to their liking. They called themselves the children of Danu, who was their mother and protector. There are 2 accounts of how they came to arrive here, and one is that they sailed on a ship in the air, another that they walked on the mists across the ocean. A long journey, that. They soon met with resistance when one of the most amazing discoveries in his journey was a type of food called chocolate by the natives. It remains difficult to procure, though I have found myself pining for it of late. So it seems like these are excerpts from different stories and not really connected to one another. Spells for Fixing Things How You Want Them to Be by Richilia. Page 3. For a person who has a lot of greed in him, I have just the thing. 1. Obtain a lock of hair of the person and place it in a purple silken bag. 2. Get a bit of goat's milk. 3. Find a piece of paper and a pen. 4. Put the milk into the bag and leave it sit for 3 days. It should stink like a Burrick's last meal and the milk will have dried up. 5. Write on the note, "Don't be greedy, you ugly old cur," and tie this to the bag. 6. Drop the bag in front of the offender's house. He will pick it up and be so afeard of the bag with his own hair that he will stop being greedy. Well, very logical. Page 63. Here's one to make friends and influence them. 1. Obtain 1 bright green frog. 2. Purchase the most wonderful influencing powder from me for 12 gold pieces. 3. I will give you the rest of the spell once you have purchased the powder. Of course we will. Excerpts from Ruland's Life and History Notebook. Chapter 4. Because of my reputation as a swift note-taker and as one who is deeply intrigued by matters of history, I was given the opportunity to be witness to a special interrogation by the Hemorites. Upon that day, they had captured a young acolyte of a group known as the Hand Brotherhood. I had heard of this brotherhood, and had seen two I believed to be these strange mages, but I had never spoken directly to one before. As it was, this acolyte did not speak with the strange echo that pervades the voices of the mages, even apparent if they are in a small room. So it was my belief he was a mere apprentice of some sort. He was caught trying to sneak into a hammer library, but opened the wrong door at the wrong time. 2 hours later I arrived, and Father Doran proceeded to question the apprentice. At first, he would not speak, but his tongue loosened a bit when one of the hammers brought in a pot of boiling water. The mere sight sent him into fits, but he soon calmed himself and revealed his allegiance to the Hand Brotherhood. His eyes were dark, as was his hair, and though youthful, he held a permanent scowl as he glared at the Hammerites and myself. He revealed that he went to the library of his own accord, that he might acquire a few books in return, thereby impressing his teachers. Both Father Doran and myself doubted this claim. Little as we knew of the Brotherhood, we were certain they would be unimpressed with petty thievery. Soon, the head Hammerite interrogator came into the room with what can only be described as instruments of torture. At first, he poked and prodded the young mage, who still refused to speak. Then, and I had to look away at this, greater measures were taken. I watched Father Doran, who did flinch more than once. He even closed his eyes for a few moments, his expression pained. Finally, the boy spoke from truth. He was cast out from the Brotherhood for attempting to gain forbidden knowledge, and he hoped he might find that knowledge in the Hammerite library to use against his former teachers. Sad thing that. I left before I found out his name, but he was sentenced to jail for a while, and then was to be turned over to the mages. I do not know if this ever occurred. Chapter 2. As it stands, it is entirely possible that the modern-day mages descended from those precursors, but I have no proof of this. The precursor artifacts that I have seen point to a society far too different to be the ancestor of what is now the Hand Brotherhood. Not only that, but the mages come from far beyond the East Shore. My attempts to speak with a member of the Brotherhood have been thwarted at every turn. Not only don't they like visitors, they also shun those with any serious questions. A pity. Chapter 16. Of course, the strangest thing was that their skins shone a bright green. Their hair flowed out around them, and I felt as though I might fall under their spell. Far away though I was, I couldn't help but stare, and it seemed as though I was growing nearer to them, despite the fact that my feet were firmly planted on the ground. They were beautiful, these strange women. At last their glowing yellow eyes caught sight of me, and I tensed. Their hair rose about them, and I turned, running like the coward that I am. Who knows what tortures I might have had were I captured? I think about this often. Chapter 17. Despite those things, I am still considered a historian. Though the pagans are interesting, there doesn't appear to be any evidence that the trickster was ever a tangible deity, or that he could somehow be reborn. It just isn't feasible. The Hammers, of course, vehemently deny this, but what am I to say? They just won't face the facts, no matter how clearly presented, and I do fear that they may take my facts to be blasphemy. Still, all their training is good, even if there's no trickster to do battle with. Someone must protect the weak and innocent of the city. We certainly cannot rely on local government to lift a finger against these criminals. How I long for a strong hand of justice to swiftly smite down the scum of the gutters. Last one. Notes of Adventure by Anonymous, Book 2. Of course, it was absolutely the most terrible written piece of filth I've ever had the displeasure to lay eyes upon. Metal horses that move on the ground, creatures made by man, which lift things and cavort as though they are alive. Preposterous. It's no wonder that Sir Browen's fanciful writings are scoffed at by educated scholars such as myself. Exactly. And then there's also a book here that opens the door in the nearby room. Yeah. Oh, now I forgot to close the books. I guess that doesn't matter. It's not a supreme bust anyway, so. Okay, so now we got access to this room. This door open, you see it's not fobbable. And I love this painting. The face in the distance. Delirium Tales. Enchanted. Prowling in the night, hiding neath my fright, manipulate my sight, thief. Whenever you steal, my punishment's real. Mind demon, duende? Scraping as I crawl, tearing, bruising, fall, thirsting, raging, blind, racing against time. Razor fingers cling, piercing demons sing, twisting hollow hell, burning blister swell. Sharp cut aching breath, choking scent of death, grueling jawbone grind, cursed by my own mind. Incantation. Too late to scribe alive in my soul, I'd rather hide than fight you stealing my soul. A marbled ocean of steaming ghosts, they bear that's tavernous and cold. A haunted ocean is cavernous and cold, I'm where the fearing dwells. Weird. While studying the area, I found that this particular mansion has had many owners. It was first built some 150 years ago on ground where used to stand an old castle, long since razed. 2 families inhabited this mansion, the first being Lord Sort or Ladin, who had it built. He and his family were rooted from it during the minor working man's riot that went on a few years later. They relocated in East Dayport and went on to establish a profitable jewelry business, now gone. The second family, the Coranius family, lasted for 2 generations before leaving for unknown reasons. That is what I am trying to discover, and I've had little success. The gardener of that second generation lived here well after the family had left. In fact, he tended the garden up until recently when he disappeared. He was, after all, 90 years old or so. At any rate, he was a gibbering old man, anxious to tend the garden of the mansion and fend off the many nibbling creatures that enjoyed feeding on such luscious greens. And when he wasn't scurrying around, he would spend hours simply staring into the pond. I think the mad bugger stole a lot of items from the mansion and moved them around because I couldn't find keys to many of the doors. One in particular being the key to the basement door, which I have never been able to find. I suspect the old coot has either lost it in the garden or has thrown it into that putrid pond. So this is then the hint that the voice told us to find in the knowledge depository, which of course is a library. And that will then direct you to go to the garden and the pond to find this key to the basement door. On my first encounter, the old gardener told me how much he loved the mansion and the trees. His eyes were wild, perhaps mad. Love for the trees, love for the greens, he hollered as he scampered away from me, cradling some trimmers. On the second encounter, the old man seemed much more lucid and commanding. He sat with me a while and told me of the old days, when the mansion was filled with life and the sound of laughter echoed through the halls. He also hinted that the lord of the house had ill dealings with some of the shopkeepers of the city, but I can't be certain. I understood his allusions all that well. One day, while I was exploring the mansion's back area, I noticed a line of trees beautiful and green, but there was one missing from the row. I asked the gardener his face turned melancholy. Yes, he said, I did tend them well, but a disease did take the tree which is not there. I wept, I did, yes. I wept a good long time for that beautiful tree. He then began to get tears in his eyes, and I left to give the old man a little time alone. Just as I was to leave, one day I heard the old gardener talking around a corner. At first I thought it was just himself, but then I heard another voice, soft and melodious. As I stepped around the corner, I could see nothing. Whomever it was had left, and the old man turned to look at me. His eyes filled with an intelligence I'd never seen in them before. I stepped up to him and was asked about who he was speaking with, but he refused to even acknowledge my question. The second to last time I saw the gardener, he scrambled up to me in a strange gait, and his eyes, mad and bright, exclaimed, I've seen the beauty. It takes me in, it does. The mansion has secrets. I will preserve the secrets, yes, take secrets with me wherever I go. Wherever I grow. I can only assume that he meant go, but was overwhelmed by whatever was exciting him. The very last time I saw the gardener, he had a peaceful air about him. Perhaps he knew he was not long for this world, or mayhaps the madness had left him for a while. This I do not know. He smiled at me and said, Where I am, the secret will be. Yes, where it is, I am. Love the green, yes. He then turned, leaving me stunned. That was the last I saw of him, and that was 3 weeks ago. 2 days ago, while finishing up my report about the mansion for the tax collectors, I saw the most amazing thing. That row of trees in the back of the mansion, where a tree was missing, now had a full-grown replacement. I'm not certain how the little mad gardener hauled a big tree all the way back there by himself, but he must have done so. Surely trees do not grow that big overnight. Perhaps he convinced the local Hemorrhites to help him, but they have their own agendas. I can only wonder at this strange marvel. Okay. Anything else in here? Okay, it's just a room where the lights go on. Let's see, was this door open here? Yes. That ghost seemed to have opened it. So then we do not need to worry about that. So that's how you close that door. You gotta close that door for Supreme. So yeah, if you don't open a door, you're not supposed to close it. You're supposed to leave everything intact. Anyway, because I wanted to read all that, it takes a good long while to get through this area. You really only have to go get the basement key and then head straight for the basement door, so... Basement key disappears, as you might have noticed. So that means we can't replace the key and we cannot lock the door, but that's not a Buster Supreme if you can't do it. Okay, obviously a secret door
Haste
here.
will lead to death, while attention will serve the best.
Can't close this either, I think. Nope. Haste will lead to death, while attention will serve you best.
He ignored the path that is straight as the falling death. Then he chose right most, though not right he was.
Who are you? I don't understand why you're helping me.
No answer. So, someone is going to a lot of trouble to help you through these traps. Find out who it is. So he said straight, fall to his death, and right, though not right he was. So then left would be the only way to go then. Here. Room here. Another book. Today, I can't be certain, but I think they're following me. They're always following me. They're always following me. I had the guards expand this basement, but I don't trust them, not one whit. I think they want my money. They see the great big mansion and they want a part of it. Kendall took a bit of stone with him yesterday. I'm certain of it. I don't like that, no. It's grievous waiting like this. I hired more men to dig out the basement and we made a discovery. The caves. I'd heard about them, but I had no idea they were this close to the house. This is perfect. What is also perfect is that they have no idea what they're digging out. None. None, none, none. I have begun to fill in a trap here and there. I haven't seen them yet, or set them yet. Wouldn't want to kill the workers, no. Yes, look, look, it's so perfect. I think I shall weep. My wife knows about this, but she is so caught up in pimpery that she cannot comprehend the magnitude of it. Primpery, not pimpery. Sorry about that. And now the caves, so beautiful. Yes, I do like the caves. They are like the womb, perfectly warm and giving. Not like my wife, who is cold and taking. My task is almost complete. One of the workers fell into a trap today. I did warn him. Yes, I did. Maybe I didn't, though. Oh well, that's one less worker I have to pay. They all want my money, yes they do. Every single paper is titled today. Only 3 workers have remained to work. Why is that? Don't they trust me? Don't they like me? They don't like me. They don't like me. They don't like me. Well, I don't like them either. They keep watching me. They think I'll snap. Well, I haven't snapped yet, so why would I now? Why? Yes, tomorrow's the last day for working. The guards and digger servants will finish setting things up, and then I shall begin to finish my own tasks. Which are the traps. Ha! My wife questioned me today. I think she's a little bit scary. No, I don't like her at all. She watches me all the time now, staring with those big cow eyes of hers. She used to be by my side, but now she primps and primps. I heard a guard speak about her rudely. He's in a trap now. I think he's still alive. I can't be certain. I don't want to look. Yes, I do. I'll go look. At last, at last, at last. Now my wife and the guards and the servants and the children and the gardener and the cook and the stable boy and the visitors will all have to find me back here. They will have to get through my traps, which are really my soul. If they can know my soul, then they shall traverse the traps nicely. If not, well, then they didn't deserve to see me anyway. Now they can't stare at me. Now they can't see me. It's so beautiful. I'm weeping. I'm truly weeping because it hurts so well. What's that sound? Ah, one more less deserving soul. Quiet screams, really, from this far away. I guess the first trap got him. I don't care if I get food. I'll make the servants bring it anyway, if they know I'm here. Maybe they don't. I don't care because they can't stare at me all the time. Snap, snap, snap. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Well, that was weird. So here's a couple of... Nothing behind this, is there? No.
Wood will provide the safe passage.
Wood will provide the safe passage. That makes sense. Okay. Let's see, is this where we... This is probably where we could have gone if we took a left back there. It just seems so far away, but anyway. So, up here, you can obviously...
Careful! Search the secret to remove the danger.
Okay. So here there are obviously traps in the floor. If we go close to this, there are spears that'll come up, and if we touch the spears, even from the side, we'll take a lot of damage. And triggering traps is not allowed for Supreme, so we're going to have to figure something out here. If we look in here, there's a lever. There's obviously a secret door in the wall, and the way to open that is over here. And I stepped on the... Here, there's another healing oil right here, so that disables the trap. And then we have to close up the secret. Now unfortunately, even though we can walk across here, we can't reset that lever because that's possible to fraud again, and that's the Supreme Bust. You have to reset everything that you can reset. I would say it's a bigger bust to trigger a trap. So this is a small bust. I would say like returning keys or resetting switches, stuff like that. Those are the smallest busts you can make for Supreme, but it is a bust nonetheless.
Patience, young girl. Do not let your quickness and your youth guide you.
Okay, then we will wait instead. So we've taken the first bust to Supreme. There's going to be 2 more busts coming up, or... Yeah, it depends on how you break it down. There's 3 different areas where you have to bust Supreme. Triggering traps is a bust, and not resetting switches or returning all items. Now, as soon as we enter the room here, these 3 heads on the back wall will start firing at us. That's also a bust. Because we are causing the traps to trigger. And when we leave the room, they stop. So it's because of our presence that they are running. So that is then a bust as well. That's the second bust to Supreme. But it is what it is.
Suppress your pride. Kneel by the Guardians.
Okay. So a headless corpse here. Obviously there's something that's going to be pretty dangerous. And there are some slots in the wall. So by the Guardians, that must mean the statues, we have to kneel. Just like Indiana Jones. And the Last Crusade. So there are what looks like saw blades shooting out here. So there are 3 areas where you can't avoid those triggering. So that's another Supreme Bust, or 3 separate busts here if you want to call it that. So we have triggered 4 traps and failed to return or reset the lever. So now we're in a different area. Okay. Cave over here to the right. Here there's actually a hole in the ground. Difficult to see, but there is. Go around this way, there's a spider. It's through here. But you can't get past there, but there is a green spider back there, a stationary one. And then if you head up here, there should be 2 fruits in this room. 1 and 2. Yep. We can't continue this way, so we're going to have to go back and head the opposite way. Just check that I don't have anything I don't need here. So partial map of the city, I took that because maps I feel are essential to the mission. Same with the rough map. We have our 2 healing oils that we started with, and we're good. I really like the way that they've set the mood here in the first mission already. And it's very different from the first missions in Thief Gold and Thief 2. They've dared to go new ways here. That's good. Okay, now we get to an old hermit's cave or room. And there's a cheese and a loaf in the back on the table here.
I am Malik. You are in trouble, yes? You come here to seek safe harbor.
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
Say nothing of thanks, but sit a while and tell me of your woes.
There we are. Good. That was a successful ghost, and Perfect Thief isn't available since there's no loot. We did bust Supreme though in 3 different areas. We did not reset the lever for the first trap, the spear trap. And we triggered the Spitfire or Spitball traps in the next room, where we had to walk over the water-filled pit. And we triggered 3 different saw blade traps when we passed the 3 statues in the following hallway. All those are Supreme busts, so this mission is not Supremeable. But if anybody are able to better my runs in any way, reducing the amount of busts or making a mission Supremeable if it's not, please let me know. And if you do that, I will show an update with the segments where I can show you the new updated route if I'm able to skip a bust, for example. That is very appreciated if you can do that. So total time 27 minutes 22 seconds. Found 0 loot out of 0. No pockets picked or locks picked. No backstabs, no knockouts, no damage dealt taken or healing taken. No innocents killed and others killed 0. No Iron Beast destroyed, of course, and disabled 0. And we did not take the 1 secret because we would have had to leave the door open, and that's unnecessary. So there we go. I actually like this mission a lot. I think it's a very good and different start. And I actually like the fact that Zaya doesn't have her light gem functional. She's not an experienced thief at this point. She will be in the next mission, but that will come in the next cutscene. So let's make a save. And then I will see you guys back for... We're going to go back to Thief 2, shipping and receiving next, but then we'll get back to the trials that shape us. Mission 2 of this campaign after that. So hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment to give me some feedback, and like or subscribe to the channel if you want to. Thank you so much for your support anyway. Have a good night. Bye-bye.